Lesson 29. Avoid the blame game. The story of the Israelites is one of the profound stories in modern times. Since the nation was born under God, all seemed perfect from them to become the chosen people here on earth. But despite of all the favor and privileges God gave them, the journey from Egypt to the promised land was one of the miserable times in their lives that in the end, it costed them not to see what God had in store for them. They constantly waited and prayed to God for their salvation from the hands of the Egyptians for 400 years. And once they were free, the little hardships they faced, they failed to realize that God is right there beside them if they needed Him. But all they wanted was to go back to the land of the Egyptians. The time they spent in Egypt, they needed not to worry what they eat nor drink, because everything was there prepared for them. But the problem arose when they were now supposed to depend on God. Before, their needs came naturally provided, but after, they have to trust God to provide for them. But instead of asking God what they need, they started blaming and complaining to Moses and Aaron for the things that they can ask for themselves. The Bible reminds us that why should we worry when we can pray? So often we find it easier just to start blaming and complaining about everything that is happening to us with little knowledge about what is really the issue. Before you complain or blame, ask yourself, what good will it do if I complain to everyone else about my own problems? Even though your situation is tough, someone else's situation is even tougher, and they would be satisfied if they were in your position. Sometimes we depend so much on people to take care of our problem, and we make God invisible in our lives and always have something wrong to say about people if things do not go our way. We waste our time and energy to fight for the things that we cannot control or change. Little do we know that we can change ourselves if we let our relationship with God be consistent and disciplined. Most of the times we live our lives hot and cold. We want a little bit of God and a little bit of the world. But what we fail to understand is that God cannot be mixed with the world. But with God, we will see a strong and a stable life that no one will ever shake us from it. Replace your blame with trust and always stay strong on His will. The only people who saw the promised land during the Israelites' journey from Egypt to Canaan were Joshua and Caleb. Because they understood the power of trust, they knew that the God who split the ocean so they could walk on dry land is the God who will save them from the hands of the giants they will face. Living an ordinary life, you do not need any discipline or commitment. You do not need a lot of trust or faith. You can continue to get away with blaming and complaining and mixing the world and God. But if you're looking to be extraordinary and a special instrument to be used by God, you need to become someone and do things that you never did before. You must recreate yourself high and above any flaws that keep you trapped. You have to do the things that you never did before and stand stronger than ever before. That will be the thing to take you to the promised land. You will go places you have never been and climb heights that you have never seen before. He will give you what your hearts desire and provide you with more than what you have asked for.